guys, it's Marius Mostert here, sitting in the lockdown, really wanting to go and fish, getting frustrated, and spending a lot of time on social media and around home, and spending time with our loved ones and our families. But I did get quite a few requests. I saw a post on Facebook where somebody said they must post photos of their fishing rooms or their man caves, and I got quite a few mentions there because of my fishing room. So I decided to do a little walkthrough through my man cave, or like I would call it in Afrikaans, my genotgrot, and just show you what I've got going on here and some of my collections and some of the stories that goes with some of the stuff that I've got in here. So it can get a lengthy video, but please put in the comments what you think, and if you did like this video, it's something totally different from what I usually do, where I explain how to use certain products and obviously showing you all the new stuff on the market, STBs, etc, etc. So let's give it a crack. I'm going to grab the camera now and then walk through the room and just explain to you as I go along. And please, like I said, leave some comments, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your mates if you think it's a cool video. Let's get it cracking. Alright, like you can see, those are my rocking chairs for the missus or for my friends when I do my preparations for my fishing, either camera work or when I go out for divisionals, etc. Then I've got two shelves over here. Let's start at the top there. There's a couple of drawings by Gavin Irwin, really talented guy. You can see there's a little fly on the fly rod there. And then I've got one of my favorite all-time lures, a dying flutter. I've got a jitterbug and a hula popper in the corner there. I'll show you my collection as we get there. There's a little Africa emblem made by a good friend of mine, JD Duplessis, the same guy that does all my fish mounts, which I'll get to now as well. And then yeah, just some memorabilia there from our interprovincials, the one in the Eastern Cape last year at Regalswade. Here's something that's quite nice. My cousin Kurt Putkama has gone to the States, and he actually met with Gary Zenth, which is a pro bass angler there, and he sent me this little card there to Marius, keep a tight line, Bass Pro, Gary Zenth. Quite nice. Also have a look on my YouTube channel. There is a video where Gary actually did a video for me, so you're welcome to have a look on my channel there. There's another interprovincials little emblem thingamajig that we got. I think that was at Loskop. There's a little old wooden reel. I always refer back to old Taki, who's not with us anymore. As he always said, vang 'n haai op 'n houtkatrol, baklei soos 'n haai op 'n houtkatrol. That always reminds me of that. Quite a nice reel there. Then this is also quite a very good memory, was my trip to Lake Chikamba in Mozambique, when I was actually going as a backup cameraman and ended up fishing for the Protea team, not earning my Protea colors, but just filling up a spot there. And we did catch quite good fish. There's just a couple of photos from our trip. You can see the cameraman there. There's my old man who also went along with the trip. Quite a nice couple of photos. There's, I think that's Adam Lindsay, and the Bassmaster himself, Justy. That was quite a nice trip there. Then we've got there a little present from Andre Senekal when I did skipper the juniors at Albert Falls. Nice little thingamajig there. There's a ducket rod, one that I broke at the two-man challenge when I was fishing with a mate of mine, Shane van Niekerk, and we ended up coming second that year. So quite a nice memorabilia there, even though the rod broke. Unfortunately, there's no replacement there for me, but it's still a good memory. There's a sailfish, which is actually my father's. There's my little fly tying station when I still used to tie some flies, which I haven't done in a while. There, the little ship from Mauritius, and the ruler. And there's a box of old vintage lures that I've been collecting. There's quite a few nice ones here, like I mentioned earlier, my dying flutter collection. That one is still in its package. Unfortunately, the packaging is not as great anymore. Some really old hidden lures there you can see. a lucky 3 Rand 69. That's way back. There's another dying flutter in its packaging. There's a brush popper, also by Hedden. What's the price there? 7 Rand 50. So yeah, there's a whole box of lures there that are still in their packaging, which is quite a nice collection that I've gathered over the time. Just also some funny bush lures. You can see a little beer bottle, beer can, funny stuff. There's also, oh, this is very, very old. One of the first Mustard hooks collections. That was also my old man's. Let me just see if I can open up one or two there. You can see how it's really, really old. All the different sizes and specs, and yeah, quite a nice collection there if you're a Mustard fan, which I've been all my years. Love fishing Mustard hooks. Okay, then we do get to this little one over here. This one is also made by that mate of mine, JD Du Plessis. This was a 3.9 that I caught at Goedertrouw on a little jerkbait in its mouth there. Nice table mount. You can also adjust the angle that you want on this fish depending on the best light angle on there. Then we do have, this is my PB, 4.5 kgs, caught in a farm dam in Pongola, also done by JD Du Plessis. Have a look at the nice background there. Looks like mud, rock, timber, some I think they're called those cattails, not too sure. There's a little bullfrog that the bass is chasing. Some medals from all the interprovincials that I fished. What have we got over here? There's a little gimbal for my GoPro and all my old plastics that come from the boat. Then we do have here at the bottom, I've got some of my fly tying gear. I don't know how much is still left there. A couple of hooks, some eyes, some dubbin, more material there. There's some feathers, etc. There's just some boxes, and then over here I do have all my lines. Like you guys know, I'm a big Seagull Red Label fan. From £6 all the way to £20, I've got them there, ready for action. Every season I try and spool up all my reels that I'm going to be using. There's just a nice photo of a fish that I've caught around here locally. There's my second biggest, 4.4, caught at Bivan. That's probably about, is there a date on here? I can't remember. Yeah, 2013. Sure. Quite a while back already. At Bivan. This fish was also done by JD Du Plessis here in Pongola. Very reasonable price. He does an awesome job. So those three have all been done by JD. That table mount, my PB, my second biggest. And then I've got a couple of others here too that were done by Fred Besaidnout, the legend. But they are getting really, really old. Then what do we have here? Okay, this is the reel cabinet. Top drawer, I've got all my loose reels, a couple of Crushers, TI, Custom Pro, some Mach 2s there. Nice reels, all ready spooled and ready to go. Then I've got my Daiwa collection there, and then I've got my Shimano collection right there. Right, let's move to the plastics. Like you can see, there's my stock of plastics. I'm just going back a little bit. You can see there on the right hand side I've got my Strike King spinnerbaits and my Z-Man spinnerbaits and some crankbaits. Just some extra stock if I run out in my boxes. I've got a couple there. There's a very, very nice color right there. The Tour Grade spinnerbait by Strike King. And then over here we've got some nice spinnerbaits by Z-Man. These ones are the Sling Blade Z's. And then ever so famous Guggen baits. I've got quite a couple of popular ones there that I use regularly. And then obviously your Z-Man plastics, some Rage Tails missile baits, and then at the far end I've got a couple of other brands too that I just keep there. Then I have a couple of photos there, some good memories. There's the top one, is the 4.4 caught at Bivan. There's my wife and my daughter with a nice fish. Myself with a fish at Bivan and my daughter. That was actually, I think that was after the Lucas Meyer competition. I think the biggest fish this Saturday was like 2.2, 2.4. And then Sunday morning I went out fishing socially going to the spot I was working the previous day, and within 10 minutes I smashed out, I think it was a 3.2 or 3.3, which would have won me the competition the previous day. Typical how it works. There's a nice fish from Grootro when it was still fishing well. And then another fish, I think that's the one I caught at Lusip with Ati not too long ago. Then over here we've got my rod stands. I've got a couple of duckets there, and then I've got a couple of fly rods, my daughter's pink rod, my very first bass rod over there that my father actually custom built for me, and then there's the rod that I caught my PB on. I think that's the Daiwa Heartland still, old rods. Obviously never get rid of those. And then, like my good old friend Jock always says, the A-team. This is the team that always goes to the competitions, to divisionals, so wherever I go, that's my Pesca rods that I've got. Just have a look at how awesome all the different actions are that you get: frog and swim jig, spinnerbait, chatterbait rod, your deep cranking, your square ball lipless crank, your jerkbait rods, weightless mojo rod, light jig and Texas, I've got a couple, and then a drop shot. And guys, there's quite a few more actions available at Bass Warehouse. These are just the ones that are very popular that I use and get used quite a lot. Then we move to this little shelf here. There's a memorabilia from the Zambezi River when we went up to the Caprivi that I got from there. Then there's a painting of my old man with his kingfish he caught at Mozambique and Ponta. That was, if I'm stating corrected, but well over 50 kilograms. Then guys, I want to show you this case quickly. Just grab it, put it on my table. Now this over here is all my vintage collections. Vintage collector's items, if you may. Some pumpkin seeds there, quite a bit of Rebel, Hedon. There's Abu Killer, Otter Plopper, what is it again? Otter Popper. There, quite nice. I think this one was given to me by Craig Whittaker back in the day when it was still part of Richards Bay Club. Then the second shelf, there's a couple of mud bugs and funky looking layers over there. And then I've got a third little shelf with a couple of Sonics, some Baby Lucky 13s, and a couple of other Arbogasters there. Then over here, what have we got here? A couple of old reels. This is quite nice. This reel, me and Jock actually fished out of Loskop with the Interprovincials. Actually saw it at the bottom on an old rod, and we fished it out. I left it in a couple of, well, I think it was 2 liters of Coke for a couple of hours. Tried to clean it up, and it's still working, but I will not spool any line on that right now, but it's a good memory to have. And that's just a couple of reels there. Let's close her up. Then over here I've got my tiger fishing boxes. Not that I do a lot of tiger fishing, but the occasional trip is there. There's a couple of spoons there, some Dam F sets, some Rapalas for trolling. There's a steel ball Rapalas when we're trolling, and more steel ball Rapalas. And then over here, this side, I think I've got my inline spinner collection. No, these are all hooks, swivels, more hooks, and more hooks and weights. I think my spinner collection is in this one. Let's have a look here. That's it. Have a look at all those inline spinners there I've been collecting over the years. Let's just maybe open this one. Have a nice close look. All the various sizes and colors and styles right there. Actually mentioned to someone on one of our WhatsApp groups, this little number 3 black fairy spinner. That particular one right there, you can see on the angle it looks yellow, but it's actually like a luminous green. I've caught tons and tons and tons of bass as a lighty and in farm dams, and that's probably what got me knee deep into what I'm doing now, and that's a passion for bass fishing. More spinners. There's your slightly bigger ones for your bigger tigers, and there's a couple of those spinning Rapala thingies. Can't get to the name right now. Alright, and then this little box here. This is a very special box. In here, I have got my dying flutter collection. All the dying flutters that I've been collecting over the years and still do. So guys, if you have one or two lying around, please put it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to either buy them from you or to trade them for any other lures that you currently use or like or want. There's just some extra tackle boxes. Let me just get that focus. There we go, some extra boxes. And then I've got a crate over here. Some extra caps, some buffs, some shirts or whatever when I go fishing. And then there, my fire extinguishers when we do our Zim trips. There, my landing nets. One is mine, the other one is Mr. Shane Redmond's that he bought from me. I still need to get it to him. Right, then the famous fishing cabinet with a whole lot of decals on there. Let me just run you through those quickly. Okay guys, there is all my tackle that I usually take to competitions. Obviously not all of it, but I like to organize it nice and neat. Like you'll see this side, I've got all my terminal tackle, my hooks, my weights, my pliers. I've got some sunscreen in there, a scale, all that type of stuff. Spinner baits in there, buzz baits in there, and then over here I've got my reel cleaning kit at the bottom. I've got some extra shake heads over there. I've got some extra trebles over there. This is my little farm pond box with hooks and weights and all the basic stuff that I need. There's a nifty little Mostert treble hook box with a split ring plier, nice and neat. You also get them from Bass Warehouse. You can put all your split rings in there, extra hooks, and have them ready whenever you need to. And then over here I've got all my memory cards and charts and stuff for my fish finders. Talking of fish finders, there they are. Here I've got some more Z-Man plastics and those nifty little Ziploc bags, not Ziploc bags, those speed bags or whatever you would call them. There's a couple there, some extra boxes. Then I do have my tackle over here. I like to put them per depth that they run. I know a lot of guys put them by brand, other guys put them by color. I like to put them by the depth. Like you'll see there, I've got my shallow cranks, I've got some of my medium cranks, and then I've got my square balls and my deeper cranks right up to the 10 XDs. Then at the bottom here I do have my lipless variations. I've got the Rukus, I've got the Rapalas, and then I've got the red eye shades for striking, my top orders. And then over here we've got some more vintage lures I'd like to show you. These are all my jitterbugs that I've been collecting over the years. These are my chatterbaits, very, very famous chatterbaits, jigs, jointed rapalas, animals is, I call it my animals. It's basically all your funky lures like your rats, your mouse, mice, ducks, bats, swim baits, and I think there are a couple of beetles in there too. So that's what I've got in there. And then moving down here, I've got some more inline spinners. There's another big box of vintage lures, some crazy crawlers, torpedoes, some rapalas, and there at the bottom is a whole box of hula poppers. And then I do have a couple of skirt making materials left to custom make my own spinner baits or chatterbait skirts. And then at the bottom here I just got a couple of extra bags to obviously put your plastics in. And also right at the back I keep all my reel boxes all neat and tight together, so that if I want to sell it one day or whatever, then the guy can still have it in its original box and packaging. Alright, and then this door I've just got a couple of repellents and stuff. There's some nice instinct spray, some extra ones that I don't take to the boat. All my original instincts are in this box over here. And then some gloves, and then some of my flies, and also fly reels and stuff for when I go and do some fly fishing every now and again. Let's just close that cabinet up. Alright, then you've seen Freddie in one of my previous videos. Little Freddie there, you can see he's saying hi to the camera. Also ready for his daily meal. So you'll also see in some of the previous videos where I've showcased how that instinct product works on bass. Just a couple of more photos. There's a nice barbel I caught at Josini when I was a young lighty. Pulled a 20 kg scale right down. There's my cover in the SA Bass not too long ago, and then just some accolades that I've got over the last couple of years. There's a good mate of mine, Willem Blichnoot, currently working in the States, hauling ass at Bivon when he came to visit. There's my old bass partner, Jacques, sitting in Richards Bay. I know the urge to go and fish is very hard. We miss you, and we'll do it soon. Then over here I've got my DVD and book and cap collection. There's something for the Lowrance fans. A very old unit right there, which is quite a nice thing that I got from my old man. Then a DVD collection, from classic patterns to the Bass Pros to Big Fish Safaris to the whole ESA series when I was still working there, and then a whole lot of informative books all about bass fishing, and some magazines as well, some old, very old Tightline magazines, and some popular ones that I just kept over the time, and then some caps that I obviously use when I go fishing. There's another photo there, me and my wife, and we were fishing at Josini. She caught her first tiger fish. Quite a nice day and session that was. And then yeah, I've got some extra terminal tackle that does not go into the box, some extra mustard hooks, like you can see there. The 3Os and the 4Os are the most popular ones that I use quite a lot. Extra spinner baits, some more hooks, and there's a culling beam. Alright, then we move over here. There's a little bass sculpture done by my cousin Stephen Sutherland. Very good job done by him there. And then there's a puzzle that was built by my late mom of a bass chasing a quilltail worm thingy. And then there's the famous anchor I got at the last Interprovincials. The guys from Eastern Cape, or from Border, actually decided to give it to me because my boat floated off the one day, and I swam after it, so the rest is history. Then I've got my red cabinet here with some extra goodies. Let's have a look. It's just an extra trolling motor prop, extra bulge pump, some bunny ears, suction cup, extra kill switch, just some stuff that I always carry in the boat. Over here I've got some extra decals, some plug points for campsites, plastic bags, straps, and then over here we've got just a couple of cloths and towels, and my Zim trip reflectors. And at the bottom here we've just got some of our camping stuff, some kettles, some life jackets, a portable fan for those very warm Zululand evenings when camping, and then over here just some flasks, more towels, etc. Alright guys, I think I ran through everything. There's some more Gavin Irwin goodies right there. There's a rainbow trout, and then there's a tiger fish tail, which is quite unique, especially for this area. And yeah, that is it guys. Alright guys, so that is me there, and I did show you a whole tour through my man cave there. If there's any questions or comments, please be sure to leave it at the bottom of this video. Also be sure to click on this link here to subscribe on my channel. Also have a look at my other videos. There's quite nice videos there. One of the videos that are doing pretty well is the crack and crawl video by Cooking Baits, as well as the videos that I did on sunscreen and petrol. Does it really affect your fishing when it's on your hands? Be sure to go on my channel and have a look at those videos. Some nice results in there. So I'll hopefully see you guys very soon on the water. Cheers.